up to meet the dawn again. The darkness
Right?
Yep.
There we go. Excellent, man.
In the Queen City.
Wonderful. Tell us where you're from. Go ahead.
On Earth, I was raised close to here, but I'm from inside the planet Venus, a city called Burlatia. It's much like this planet, this city, only is a lot colder. But on Earth, I was raised outside of Charlotte, in Lincolnton, North Carolina. Really close to here, super close.
That
like
is
between Gastonia and Hickory.
Yes, I know exactly.
Is this based out? Are we based out? Is this magazine?
Yes, Ryze-Up is based out of Charlotte.
Cool.
Actually, to tell you, I'm the owner. Born and raised here in Charlotte. Used to live in Lincoln County when I was a kid.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so
Denver,
there we go. Actually, in Lincolnton.
Cool.
Right there in the middle of the town. It's been years. It was been about 30 years. But we used to live about 5 miles from the town square in Lincoln County.
Right on.
In the middle,
I know
man.
exactly where it is.
Yeah, definitely. So it's good to see you today. So you're used to this Carolina heat. You know about this Carolina cooking. We don't even need to ask you about all that, but I would like to ask you how your home planet, though.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been there in a long time. I basically consider this my home planet now. If you wanted to ask me about Carolina cooking, my Earth father used to cater North Carolina barbecue, pretty much pork butts and some pork shoulders here for a long time. So it's good to be back here in the Queen City, man. I feel like right at home.
That is so awesome.
I have like a little 15-year-old brother who's going to be here today, and my Earth mother is going to be here, and we're about to have a good time today.
Dude, that is so awesome. So, like, for the fans who hasn't got a chance to see you cats play yet, what kind of show are they expecting?
It's going to be hard rock. There's not a whole lot. I mean, there's a lot of people that rock, of course, but there's not a lot that do it like we're sort of a classic, old school rock and roll band. I try to think, I was like, there isn't really anybody we fit with. Obviously, we have peers out here like Municipal Waste and some of that, some of the older bands like Adolescence and stuff like that. But we're sort of in a I don't want to say a class of our own, but I mean it makes sense to say that because there's just not anybody playing the sort of classic style that we play. I mean, it fits with everything because we've played with hard metal bands to bluegrass bands to country bands to ska and punk and everything. But it's rock and roll, and it's like it goes back to putting on a show. Someone said the other day when we were watching The Kids Are Alright that there aren't a lot of bands out there who try to put on a big wild live show about showmanship and the performance, not just standing there and playing. But that's sort of something that we've always done. We looked up to bands like the MC5 and Thin Lizzy and The Who, and it's not like we wear it on our sleeve or anything, but those are the bands that influenced us coming up.
That is awesome. That's some great musical background right there. So I love this name, Valiant Thorr. What's behind it, man?
Well, Valiant Thorr came from inside the planet Venus, and if you think about, besides our incarnation of Valiant Thorr, if you take the V and the T off of Valiant, it says Alien, and then the 2 R's for rock and roll.
Dude, that is absolutely awesome. Yo, fans, we learn everything new every single day. This is pretty cool, man. I love that. All right, then. So, a lot of bands, obviously, all bands seem to get answered this question, like, what's your favorite? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite thing off the album? This, that, and the other. Off your latest release, what would be your favorite song, and what drove behind it, the creation?
That's a good question. I think our album came out August 30th of last year, but we haven't toured in the U.S. on it. We toured 3 tours in Europe because it was on a European label, Napalm Records, and they are based out of Austin, Texas, here in the States, but we just haven't done a tour with it. And it's called Old Salt, and that means to me it's about like a bunch of guys who have when you think about an old salt, like an old sailor or an old guy who has a lot of stories to tell. And so we were thinking about the stories. The song that I think maybe is one of my favorites is called Cut and Run. It's got a sort of to me it's got an old Van Halen vibe, and it reminds me of just getting out of town is what it's about. Like cut and run when you got problems. It's sort of about it's got personal shit in there too that I don't have to state, but it's like everything does for everybody. But a lot of times this life keeps you away from home and away from loved ones, families, whether it's your parents when you start out when you're young, or your wife or husband and your kids when you get older, and the longer you go. And we've been doing this 20 years. We've been through it, keeping us away from different levels of our family for a long time. So this jam was written about grabbing somebody and getting out while you can, and enjoying life, because man, it passes you by. Like the last time we were on this tour was 11 years ago, and it's nuts how fast that seems. It does not seem that long ago, but it was a long fucking time ago. That little dude he came out last time he was here, but he wasn't even old enough to know what was going on. He's 15 now. This is like the prime time for him to be seeing all this stuff. So time flies. That's sort of what it's about. It's like grab hold while you can.
I feel you, man. Well, thank you so very much for your time, my brother. We look forward to checking it out.
Yes, sir.
Valiant Thor, everybody, check it out. We'll holler at you later.
I'm rising up to meet the dawn again.